Welcome into your reading for this week. I am T from Tiny Divinations, here to break down the cards with you. So, per usual, we have our three different piles. Pick the pile or piles that you are drawn to, or pick a number between 1 and 7, and the number you choose will appear now. I'll see you in your reading. Welcome in, Group 1. Let's get into your cards. So, the card that you chose for the energy of your week is joy. Open your heart to joy, and your life will change forever. So, the card we have is joy. We definitely have light feelings. We have happy faces. We have some love on our cheeks. So, it feels like the people in this pile are feeling good. There's a lot of light in your week. There may be a lot of good things happening this week. Let's flip it over and see what the questions are. What brings you joy? What are your beliefs on life? How does joy touch your life? I think these two are the biggest questions for me this week. What brings you joy? Do you know what brings you joy? Are you doing the things that bring you joy? As you're doing the things that bring you joy, are you like sitting in that and recognizing um like what's happened? Are you sitting in the gratitude of what's happening? Are you like kind of eating up the moment? You know what I mean? Are you like holding space for it? Are you like really like in it, or are you just kind of letting it be fleeting moments? Affirmation: I connect with all the beauty of the universe and bathe in its glory. I bring joy to my life with gratitude and love. And again, I think that like what's important in this is I bring joy to my life, right? Not waiting for others to bring joy in, not waiting for things to be a certain way or to come to you, but like actively doing the things that you can to like be joyful, to bring in things that make you happy, to fill yourself in that way. So that's a little bit of what I'm getting from that card. Let's get a few more cards to get a little bit more of the energy for your week. Relaxed, free from strain and tension. Valued, I am important. And then on the bottom, we have positive. I'm inspired, motivated, and proactive. I make the best of every situation. So, yeah, I feel like number one, the energy of your week is good as fuck. Okay, can we sit in that? Like, it's very good energy. You have joy, you have relaxed, free from strain and tension. You have positive, so it feels like there's not too many obstacles this week. There may not be too many like arguments or issues. You may just be able to kind of breeze through things. You may have a lot of things that fill you up this week. You may have a lot of people that are around you that make you feel valued, that make you feel important, that let you know that like they care about you and the ways in which you add value to their lives. They may be showing you that. This also feels like a birthday. Like it could be your birthday this week, or like something's happening where you're getting like um, exalted in a way, or like put on a pedestal, or people are coming around for you, or people are gathering around you in some way. That could also be a thing. Like maybe you're starting something new, or like starting like a new journey in your life or something like that. Like that feels like part of the energy. Um, yeah, so let's just look at some of these questions. What are the benefits of relaxation? How do you calm yourself down? If you visualize yourself in a calm space, where would it be? And I think if I got this in a different poll, I might say, like, you might need to relax this week, or there's a lot of things that'll stress you out, and yada, yada, yada. And I could see that in a way, but you have so many positive cards, joy, positivity. Like, it's like, I feel like this is the energy that is going to just naturally be a part of your week. And, or you may just be embodying this energy regardless of what's going on around you. I don't necessarily think that you have to like bring it in a certain way. But if it is something like that where you feel like it's more so speaking to you needing to be relaxed, you needing to be more positive, you needing to be more joyful, which of course it could be, then I think these are really good questions to consider in terms of how do you calm yourself down? Are you utilizing those things this week? Have you, or are there moments where you can completely tell that you didn't? And that's part of why the thing went the way it did? Are there moments when you know that you did and you can see I don't know why the cicadas are getting so loud. They just got so loud. Are there moments when you did and you can see the benefits of that? Are there moments when you got like more sleep or something, or took a day off and afterwards you saw like how much more energized you were as a result of that? Like that's a thing. And being able to make sure that your space is calm is also, I feel like, a thing for you this week. Taking a look at your space and what's going on, if there's too much clutter, if there's things that need to be changed in terms of like um, sheets and curtains or furniture, or like the color of walls or something like that will make you more comfortable, that'll make you feel more relaxed, that will like bring in some of that energy, right? Then you have valued. What do you value? Doing more of what you value this week, like I said, with the joy, bringing in the things that you value, having them center what you're doing. In what ways are you proud of yourself and your achievements? What are your strengths and talents? And I think like embodying that, putting those to the forefront this week, really sitting with what you do and how you can bring something to something, or what you've brought to something, the accomplishments that you've made, the things that you've done, is definitely a part of your week, within you recognizing that yourself. And also, like I said, for some people, receiving recognition from outside. I love and accept myself completely for being me. I am a perfect human being. And why do you think that? Because you are positive and have a very positive outlook this week, right? Is your glass half full or half empty? What is in the half full part? Values, what brings you joy? What is missing in the empty space? Does your life reflect a positive or negative attitude? And that to me would be on a day to day or like moment to moment kind of thing. What would your positive message be to others? And then how can you then incorporate that for you? I breathe in positivity. I breathe out negativity. I embrace the rhythm of life in all its glory. I am a positive being. Okay. So, yeah, this is what I'm getting from the energy. The energy feels good. It feels light. It feels like there's energy to relax and like lean into the things that you actually like and want. So, definitely utilize this energy this week. Let's move into some specific things that may happen. Okay. So, moving into some more specific things that may happen. And this was actually like this. Okay. Okay. So, in terms of specific things that may happen this week, um, it feels like, number one, I'm going to start here. It feels like with the sacrifice reverse, um, that it's almost like it's your time, very similar to the energy cards that you had. It's your time to talk your shit. It's your time to show out. It's your time to show people what you know, or talk about what you know, or show your skills. This is like the opposite of, to me, of what this card would normally mean. I feel like you there's a way you need to stop self-sacrificing and more so pour into yourself, and that's part of why you got those energy cards that you got this week. Part of pouring into yourself is speaking up for yourself, is communicating what you need, is setting boundaries, is being able to speak freely, or just to like feel comfortable sharing things and really, and then the cicadas are loud as fuck again. Yeah, y'all, you need to talk. Like talk, scream, shout, sing, whatever it is, whatever gets you to a place where you feel comfortable being like heard, kind of thing. Um, then, like I said, the sacrifice card reverse for me suggests that there's a way in which people are or have been too self-sacrificing, and part of the energy this week is about you, is about like pouring into yourself, it's about doing for self, it's about what you want, it's about um not sacrificing the things that you want or that are best aligned for you, and not making excuses as to why you shouldn't have or you can't do, or whatever that energy is that you may normally move through or move from. There's a way, like I said, that we just, it's like where we need to take the energy that we've been given to others and bring it back into ourselves this week. Then we have solitude and mental conflict. And for me, there was something about this together that said that there's something that you may be confused about or may be having like conflict in your mind about, that if you step away from, you take a second step away from it, you'll be able to find clarity this week, especially if it's like too many voices type shit. And that's why, because you have the person, and here there's like another person, even though this is him. With it reversed, I feel like it could be too many other people, too many thoughts of other people have to say. It could also be just like compounded, and you just like having too much, like being inundated with too much information and not being able to suss it out. So there's something about being able to like take time to yourself, get away, or like step away from it, and either take time so that you can get clarity, or step away from it so that you can come back and reorganize it. You know what I mean? I was actually saying to somebody earlier that like I feel like it's so funny. I was saying to them that I feel like they have too much information in their brain, and they're getting just like confused on dates and what's what, because it's just like so much stuff. And so at this point of where they are in the stage of what they're doing, I think it would be good for them to like take some of the paperwork and stuff that they have, get rid of the shit that you don't need, right? And then focus on what you need going forward. And I feel like that is part of the energy that you have with the solitude thing. There's somebody that needs to, or some people that need to like write this shit out. Some people are not like you writing out your calendar or writing out your to-do list or sticking to those things that you write out. And so like that's a part of it. There's something about like finding information in a book. Like some people are trying to figure some shit out on their own, and there's a way in which this week you need to kind of like step back and put your head in a book or find the knowledge somewhere else, because somebody else has done this shit before you. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel, or you don't need to figure this shit out yourself. You could actually go and like find the information. It may just take a little bit of digging. There are some people who need to like sit and read with part of that relaxation card that we had before. The part of your relaxation is reading, but there's something within reading. It's like there's something that you're supposed to get from what you're reading right now, or like something that like is very important to your mental, or to like a change you're trying to make or something like that. So it's important that you sit down and read what you're reading so that you can like get the whole lesson or something like that. Um, but that's definitely a thing. I also feel like with the mental conflict and the solitude, there's a way in which the answer could come to you. Like there's something that could like come to you. There's a way in which you could figure out the path, or find the way, and it just be like dropped onto you in a way. If you take the time, especially with this like little star up here. But again, if you take the time to like either step away from it, or step away from the noise that's in your life, or step away from the things that you're doing for a second, even if it's just like it feels like they could be sitting in meditation, or like sitting and like going in your bathroom, turning the lights off and closing the door. You know what I mean? Like turn it on the shower or something, and just like sitting with the white noise of the shower or something like that. Like that could also be a part of how you come into yourself. There's a whole bunch of different ways you could do this, but this is what I'm getting from the specific things that may happen this week. Let's wrap your reading up with some words of wisdom. Okay, so your words of wisdom were the two cards that were on top of your energy card. So we have inspiration. There is a voice of inspiration within me. Right now, it's only a whisper, but the more I listen, the louder it will get. Soon, it will be a flawless speech voiced by James Earl Jones through a megaphone with lots of applause. And then we have engagement. Today, I make the conscious choice to engage with the world in an active way. I'll take a new route and talk to strangers. I will smell flowers and pet dogs and maybe walk barefoot for a while if I'm not inside a 7-Eleven. That's a Britney joke if you're not a millennial. At the very least, I'll have a day that's slightly more interesting than average. And at the most, I'll have a startling epiphany or make a friend who will change my life forever. No pressure. And I think these embody the cards that we got. So these are your words of wisdom for this week, y'all. And this was your reading. So thank you so much for being here with me. Follow the channel if you aren't already. Share this message with somebody who may need it. Follow our podcast, Tiny Musings. If you aren't already, our August part 1 and 2 are out right now. Still go listen, even though it's towards the end of the month as of when I'm recording this. Very much still some gems up in there for you to get before the month is over. September will be out in a few days, so definitely check that out. And follow me on Instagram at Tiny Divination. So thank y'all again for being here. I appreciate you so much. And if you have another pile or another number, I will see you there. If not, I will see you in our next reading. Welcome in group 2. Let's get into your cards. So, the card that you have for the energy of your week is hopeful. Bring it on. So, just with that said, I feel like you're feeling confident this week. You're ready for shit. You're ready for whatever is going to happen. You're kind of ready to take on things. You're feeling capable. You're feeling content, it feels like, and pretty optimistic for what could come, what could happen, what could be. So, we like that energy. Let's see what your questions are. What are you hopeful about? What do you see for yourself in the future, in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time? So, with that, also, it may be that you are thinking about where you're going, what you're doing, what your next steps are, what your goals look like, how the goals that you have are going to lead up to what you want or what they're leading up to. And if that's in alignment with what you want, and like there may be a lot of like what ifs or like what's coming ideas. What are the steps you need to take to achieve that? Write them down. Affirmation: I am optimistic about the future. I have faith that all will be well and as it should be. So that's what we get from the hopeful card. Let's get a few more cards to get a little bit more of the energy. Pleased with myself, I smile inwardly, satisfied. Forgiving. We all make mistakes, but then wary, on guard. Let's see if there's anything else. Doesn't feel like it. Okay. So we have satisfied. Pleased with myself, I smile inwardly. I think that the satisfied card makes sense with the hopeful card that we have. You may be pleased with something that's happening this week. That may be part of the hopeful outlook that you have. Either you're pleased with what's happening, so you're hopeful about your future, about what's coming, about what you could do, about how you could make the goals that you want happen. It may be that you're being hopeful is what then has you basically like being able to be satisfied with what you have and okay with what you have because you're optimistic for what's coming. So you're grateful for where you are and all of the things that are within that. Let's see what some of the questions are. What brings you satisfaction? What does it feel like inside? Based on these questions, I also think that for some people, especially the people that are thinking about the future, part of what you're thinking about may be your specific goals. Maybe you haven't decided on goals. Maybe your goals you've decided have changed, and there's a way in which there's people that need to like come and sit down and like figure out what your goals are now. Where do you want to be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 2 years, in 6 months? What stops you feeling satisfied? How can you overcome it? I'm grateful for my life. Everything is just as it should be. My life is full and complete. And again, I feel like part of the reason you feel like that is because you're hopeful. Okay. Then we have forgiving. We all make mistakes, but I feel like together with on guard, wary. And on the bottom, I just want to show y'all you had negative on the bottom. I'm not good enough. Why should anyone care about me? I'm not good at anything. It's not going to work yet. I don't necessarily feel like this around it is about you guys. I feel like the negative may go with the forgiving wary that we may have. So there may be a situation this week. There's energy for you to come back together with somebody and have a conversation, or for you to forgive somebody for something that they've done. Like you meet up with them and you forgive them, or you just decide to forgive them and let it go yourself, or the person may come and apologize to you, or the people may come and apologize to you. You may choose to forgive like a situation that's happened so that you can move on, so that you can be hopeful, so that you can feel satisfied, right? But within whatever the situation is that you are forgiving and feeling like you're getting over, there's still a way that you're not. Like it's like either I've gotten over it, or I'm getting over it, but I'm still like strong arming you, or like not gonna hold you too close, and or I say that I am forgiving, but there's still a part of me that isn't going to, or can't, or hasn't, or something like that. And I feel like that may be a big thing for you in this week, of just being like, I forgive you, but I'm not sure about you, or I forgive you, but I'm not really sure how to proceed going forward, or I forgive you, but like I don't know that I can really get over this in that way, you know? So let's flip these over, see what our questions are. How easy or hard is it to find forgiveness in your heart? How will forgiveness help you? And again, we had the hopeful and satisfied. So I feel like part of how the forgiveness will help you is that you'll feel, maybe more hopeful or satisfied with the situation, even if it's a situation where it's like, this is what it is. I'm okay with this being what it is. And so I'm going to move this way so that I'm good. What do you need to do to forgive? Affirmation: I can forgive and forget if I choose. Letting go will allow me to move towards acceptance of what is and faith in what will be. Hopeful. Then we have wary. What has happened in the past to make you wary of, and I'd say of this situation that you're forgiving? How does being wary help you, or how will being wary in the future help you? Will it help you, or does it stem from hurt? How will, excuse me, what will it take for you to trust again? And whether that's in the specific situation, or a situation like it, or a person like that, or if you even want to trust a situation or a person like that again, like these are things to consider. Affirmation: I learn from experience to make the right choices for myself. I trust my intuition to guide me. All will be well. And I think that's like the running theme through your energy. Like, all will be well. It will be what it will be. All will be well again. It will be just as it should. So like everything is working in kind. It's working the way it should be. It's working, um, you know, as it's laid out for it to. And you just inherently know that, which again is why you're hopeful and satisfied. So this is what I'm getting from the energy of your week. Let's transition into some specific things that may happen. Okay, let's see what specifically may happen this week for group 2. Whole bunch of stuff. Okay. So, in terms of the specific things we have going on this week, we have destiny, material and spiritual prosperity, triumph, authority reverse, and base chakra. So, some of the specific things I think may happen this week. Number one, we have these first three cards that are all luck cards, all kind of about receiving. So, there's definitely ways people can receive money this week. People can receive something coming through for them, something coming to fruition for them. You can receive something that you're able to like celebrate about. It may also just be that you're like lucky with money this week or lucky with things that you do this week. If you start doing something, it will work out. If you buy a lottery ticket or something like that, like you may have the energy to win. um it feels like there's like a boost kind of energy for you this week. Also with the specifics, we have the destiny card. So like I said before, there's definitely ways that people are thinking about what they are doing long term and what that kind of looks like. There may be a way that your finances play into that this week. For people that aren't necessarily getting a boost, it may be that you're like trying to do more with your money, like trying to dole it out in different areas, seeing where you can put it to get more back, kind of thing. Maybe there's people making investments this week, excuse me. Maybe there's people seeing returns on investment that they made, or um, like a it could also be like a betting situation because I said that before. So it could be like, I don't know if you do things where like, how there's all these fucking bet things nowadays, like Kalshi and shit. And I don't really know how that works. But it could be something that you bet on before that like is coming into fruition now, or it could be like, I don't know, a stock that you bet on before that's like coming in, or like something like that, or even like betting on yourself, something that you bet on that didn't necessarily, you didn't know what the outcome would be, but that you'll see it come to fruition this week. Like all of that could definitely happen this week. I think that there is a way that, like I said, we're getting a boost in our money, we're getting a boost in the completion of things, or like the ability to like see things to fruition, or see the end goal, or to see the trappings of whatever you're trying to do, like the wealth coming in, or you see the followers coming in, or you see like like some kind of like shine or boost on what you're doing. Then you have the authority card reverse and the base chakra card. So I feel like um, there are people that may have, with these things that are happening over here, there are people that may be feeling imposter syndrome, that like either this is not something that is gonna last, like it might be feeling like it's fleeting, or you might feel like you're not deserving of, or like how you feel um in terms of like ownership of the things that are happening to you, and how you can own them or how you're not owning them, is something that comes up with these two cards as well. Also with the authority card reverse and the base chakra card, if there's something that's going on in terms of your security, in terms of your house, in terms of your foundation, in terms of you getting a secure footing, it may not be something that you can necessarily do alone this week. You may need to ask for help. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it may be your decision what you decide to do, but you may need help to do it. So if you're trying to get something done and it's not working out for you, so to speak, then like stop, remember this, and like go find help. Go find somebody that can actually help you get done what you need to get done. You're right. Like the best part of being a leader or somebody who's in authority is knowing when to delegate, knowing when to get help, or advice. So all of that is a part of what I'm seeing for the specific things that we may have happened this week. Also, we have these, in terms of the people and the cards, it feels like everybody is kind of a little bit dressed up and adorned with like different things. So it may be that you want to dress to impress this week. You may want to shop and buy things that start to embody the ways in which you actually feel right now, or the ways in which you want to feel. It may be that people want to start like putting on jewelry or adding in accessories. If you're somebody who has talismans or amulets or anything like that, or you're somebody who makes, amulets or talismans, or will make something that you have into one, you may want to take a piece that you have and do that. Also, with the auburn, it's like people, I feel like people are doing fall hair. Like this reminds me of like how we all, like how there's a joke that like all the black girls dye their hair this color, as soon as it turns September. And it feels like this week people people may be wanting to change their look, change their hair, and like I said, change your clothes, change your appearance in some way, to match how you're feeling. Like it feels like for some people you're feeling more confident, you're feeling more fierce, and you want your outer to match your inner, or you want to have your outer look like that so that you can embrace it more inside or something like that. So definitely, enhance yourself in the ways that you see fit. We also, in this month's podcast, talk about glamour magic, and part of glamour magic is also what you wear, the colors that you wear, the um, textures and things that you wear, the jewelry and your makeup and things like that. So that may also be a part of what is coming up this week in terms, excuse me, of you like glamorizing yourself in a sense, glamorizing your life. So yeah, this is what I'm getting from the specific things that may happen this week. Let's wrap your reading up with some words of wisdom. Okay, so your words of wisdom were actually the cards on top of your energy cards. What we have: ups and downs. I see life as an incredible ride, and I'm lucky to be on it. Yes, the ups and downs make me want to puke sometimes, but they're also what makes things fun and interesting. And when you look back, even puking on yourself makes for a good story. And then we have get centered. When it gets to be too much, whatever it is, I close my eyes and return to center. In my center, I have the wisdom and tranquility of a name of your favorite animal, holding a your favorite magical item, floating through a space on a piece of furniture. So insert as you will. So this is your words of wisdom for this week, y'all. And this is your reading. So thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate y'all so, so much. Please let me know how your week is. Please share this message with somebody who may need it. Follow the channel if you aren't already. Follow the podcast, Tiny Musings with T. Both part 1 and 2 of our August reading are out right now. The September reading will be out in a few days. Follow me at Tiny Divinations on Instagram. And if you have another pile or number, I will see you there. And if not, thank you again. I appreciate y'all, and I will see you in our next reading. Welcome in group 3. Let's get into your cards. So, the card you have for the energy of your week is disappointed. I expected more. So, right off the bat, it feels like part of the energy is that somebody or something let you down. You were expecting more of them, of yourself, of a situation. It feels like you may be sad, you may be frustrated, you may not know exactly what to do going forward, or you may be like stuck in this place and not ready to move forward yet. So, these are a few things. The face itself looks kind of tentative and just like sad and unsure, like I said, and just kind of stuck. So let's see what the questions are for this card. Why are you feeling let down? So even with the letdown, like I said, there was something that you either expected to happen, you expected somebody to do something, you expected somebody to help you. That may be because you have helped them in a certain way, and so you not getting it in return was a disappointment. It may be for some people that the thing or person or situation that's disappointing you, this isn't the first time that they've disappointed you. So that may be part of it. Are your expectations realistic? So is part of why you're disappointed because you expected this person to move differently than they have in the past, or you expected the situation to be different, even though beforehand you kind of knew what the outcome would be based on the factors, or something like that. You know what I mean? Are you going into things this week with realistic expectations, or are you putting your optimism onto it, or your naivete onto a situation? You know, are we thinking optimistically, but sitting with what it could be realistically, or are we just going into it with what we want to happen and nothing else? What can you do to make sure you no longer let events or the behaviors of others affect you? So again, whether it's a situation or a person, I feel like there are other people involved. There are other factors that are kind of out of your control, and that's where the disappointment may come in. Even if it's something that you did, it's something that may just be out of your control and nothing that you could have stopped or changed or handled. What can you do to make sure you no longer let events or the behaviors of others affect you? Like I said that. Affirmation. I let go of expectations and accept all that comes my way with a smile. Okay, so there may be some things that happen this week that don't go the way that we expect them to. There may be some people that let us down, that don't do what they say they're going to do, that don't show up for us in the ways in which we show up for them. So that's something to be mindful of. And also tempering our own expectations of what people actually have the capacity to bring, or what a situation can actually produce in the time or with the information that we have, so that we can actually be able to accept all that happens and really come to terms with it as is. So that's what I'm getting from the disappointment card. Let's get a few more cards to see a little bit more about the energy for this week. Oh, now, why y'all give me the whole damn pile? Okay, resentment, not letting go. Had something fall. Phew. I can breathe again. Relief. Shame. I can't believe I did that. Anything else? And then we have frustration has turned me from a normally peaceful, loving person into an irrational, angry one. Okay. Okay, so part of the energy we have this week, it definitely feels like something happens. Like you may get into a fight with someone, or some shit may go really, really left. You may make a big mistake that really makes you frustrated. The people that disappoint you, it may be like the last straw type of situation, and it sends you on a kind of spiral. Like there are a number of ways that this can all play out. Because we have a grouping of cards that are very similar in the energies of them and the feelings that they emote, sadness, anger, um, you know, this, it definitely feels like there could be a number of things or something big that happens this week that really like kind of colors how you move or how you feel. It may be hard for you to kind of let it go. It may be hard for you to move past. It may be hard for you to even um, know the way through with this situation or with this person. Um, with the relief card that we have in the middle, I feel like part of what you should lean into is the idea that like whatever it is, it there whatever happened, that was the resolution, right? So like this thing happened, this is the resolution. And so part of the relief that comes from that, it can be like now I know what it is and I can just move forward from there. Or I can see it clearly, or I know this person for what they are, or whatever the case, and I can like move in kind as a result of that. You know what I mean? And part of the relief can look like not dealing with it, or not um, knowing that you won't have that situation happen again. Um, or for some people, it might have been a situation where you were like waiting to see what happens. And now that the thing has happened, you can just move forward. Okay. Even though you're disappointed or frustrated with the outcome of it, you still have the relief of being able to then move forward however you choose to. So let's get into some of these questions. Resentment. What are you resentful about? How do you think being resentful affects your life? And I feel like definitely this week, part of how being resentful, frustrated, um, feeling shame, disappointment affects your life is that you're down, you're not happy, you're sad, you're not emoting the way that you normally would in terms of being happy and being loving and maybe being a happy go lucky person or being very nurturing to other people. You may be isolating. You may be like short and sharp with people. You may not be saying shit to anybody. You may be very like in your head and very reserved. You may be feeling like defensive. And so, like I said, you may be like being mean to others or given the energy that other people have given you. Like that's some of how this energy can manifest for you. What needs to happen for you to feel better about this? Relief, right? What needs to happen for you to feel like you can breathe again? Affirmation: I can be forgiving without forgetting. I am ready to move on and be at peace within. Because it's not about what happened outside of you, it's about what's happening inside of you. Next, I'm going to move to shame. What have you done to feel so bad? What do you wish you had done differently? I'd also ask, is there something you can do differently about it now? If so, are you willing to do that? Are you willing to ask for forgiveness? Are you willing to show up differently or whatever is being asked of you? And if not, what can you learn from this? And all the things that are happening this week, there are things for you to learn from. There are things for you to exercise in the sense of like how you move from this space or how you move through this space, how much you allow what happened to you to affect your response or your responses to other people. Affirmation: mistakes help us grow on our spiritual paths. I live in peace, harmony, and acceptance of myself and others. Let this new day begin. And then frustration. What is the cause of your frustration? What part are you playing in this situation? And I feel like that takes us back to the shame you may be feeling, right? Or the disappointment that you may feel. Do you like the view that you're having of yourself? Excuse me. Do you like the view that you have of yourself? How can you do things differently from now on? And all these cards are kind of asking, like, what can you do different? How can you change from what has happened this week? And so that's part of what you want to think about in terms of your own movements. Like, regardless of what's happening around me or what's happening to me, how do I want to move as a result of these things? How do I want that to reflect on the person that I am or the person that I'm trying to become? Affirmation: I rise above the frustrations in my life through love, hope, and a good sense of humor. Okay, and then we have relief. What are you relieved about? What in all of these situations and all of these big feelings that you have and whatever the actual situation is, what can you actually feel relieved about? And with the card being here, there's something. Even if it's not clear to you, there's something there. This is validation of that. What does it tell you about yourself? There's a lot of digging into you this week. Is there anything you could do differently next time? And we had this, I feel like, asked somewhere else. Yeah, in frustration. Affirmations: everything happens at the right moment. I am enriched by all experience and now let go and move on gratefully and gracefully. Okay. So these are your energy cards for this week. That was kind of a lot, but let's move into some specific things that may happen. Okay, so let's see what specifically we got going on this week. Okay, power, deception, envy, and wisdom reversed. Just off the bat, I feel like there may be situations where you thought that somebody was something else or thought a situation was something else. Like, okay, for example, if you thought that like you were in a position to get something, a promotion or something like that, but you didn't know that there was somebody else that was actually vying for that same thing. Like they made it seem like, oh yeah, I'm super down for you to get this. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's like, bong, I got it. You know what I mean? Or somebody that, um, like a situation where somebody is just like giving you wrong information or yeah, like it's like it's like secretly vying for something that somebody else wants, is what it feels like. There may be a way in which you don't have all of the information that you need to make a power move or to have something work out in the way that you want it to in terms of moving up in something, because there's some kind of deception, there's something that's not being told, there's something that's being withheld, there's information that's being obscured, something like that. So like watch people's moves and motivations, double check the information that you're getting this week, get information from multiple places. um, be don't don't be like power hungry or too concerned with position that you're not paying attention to what everything else is doing or everybody else is doing or everything that's happening around you or something like that, you know. Like this reminds me of almost like being a king in a court and thinking that everything is okay but not realizing that like shit is going on up in the court that you have no idea about, you know. Okay. These cards are really coming out like stories. Um, there may be people that are dealing with issues in the relationship with infidelity immediately comes out to me, with people kind of having heartbreak, with people dealing with breakups, and people um, like learning about disharmony in situations, or recognizing that shit is infinitely broken and or that you're not together in the ways that you thought that you were, or you're not the only person in the situation, or that this person doesn't feel the way about you that you thought that they felt, or they're not there for you in the ways that you thought that they were. That might be part of why we got the disappointed card and the shame card, right? Again, it might be similar to the deception where somebody may turn out to be somebody that you didn't think that they were, or that it's something that you didn't think that they were. And this ends in a way, or this comes up in a way that's really heartbreaking for you, you know. And relationships become severed this week. That's definitely a fucking thing. Like um, alliances, partnerships, like I said, paying attention. If you are definitely doing a business, signing a contract, going into a job situation or something, ask more questions, ask other people, get reviews, go on whatever that website is. That people use to like rate jobs and shit, and look at that shit. If it's, you know, a dating situation, like believe who they are, believe who the person is that they show you to be. Okay. And in some cases don't take a ring or something, because I see this like this bracelet here and then this same bracelet is here and it feels like locking it down or something. And so like it may be that you're already married to this person and you find out something and you're like scared of how am I going to get out of this because I feel locked into this situation, or you may just feel locked into a partnership in general, you know. But like um right now deal with the healing and then you can figure out how to like move, kind of thing. um but yeah, and overall it feels like there may be things that happen this week that kind of like turn your world upside down, that turn your thinking upside down, that make you question yourself or question um well other people or things like that. um Prosperity begins, and then sacral chakra and material harvest. I feel like that's getting into some other things. um but yeah, so I'm gonna just come back to these. This can definitely happen. We do have two prosperity cards though, so let's just go here a little bit. What may be being removed or the things that may be happening may force you to like dive deeper into your work or deeper into what you're doing and like kind of put your head down because you don't want to feel, you don't want to deal with your emotions, and so that may cause you to like make more money or like um, be able to make more strides in like whatever your work is, because these things come up this week, or these things have been coming up, and this causes you to just kind of put your head down, you know. So this is what I'm getting for the specific things that happened this week. Very interesting. Definitely a lot of energy. If you have more questions, please let me know. I know that my books are closed right now. But if you need a reading, baby, let me know, because this was a lot of energy. I feel like there are people in this pile and this group that definitely need their own readings. And I just my wrist just started itching like crazy. Like I'm like, I feel like I'm having like an allergic reaction. Like I feel like you're stressed. You may be stressing yourself out. Like some shit may happen this week where you stress the fuck out. Like so If you need a reading, baby, just hit me up. Okay, hit me up. We will figure it out. So this is what I'm getting from the things that are happening this week. Let's wrap your reading up with some words of wisdom. Girl, can y'all see that? You see how red my wrist just got out of nowhere? Like out of absolutely nowhere. I don't know, baby. I don't know. All right. So, words of wisdom, these were actually the two cards that were on top of your energy card. So, first we have confidence. In this moment, I take a step back and look at myself with the pride of a good mother. I see an abundance of abilities and talents that show up all the time in big and little ways. If I could stick myself on a refrigerator, I would. I would invite all the neighbors over and say, "Look at that. Can you believe what an A plus that is?" Personal growth. As I move toward greater consciousness, I feel old thoughts and habits fall away. Like training wheels on a bike, they help me get to where I am. But now that I can ride, I don't need those slow and crummy wheels, except when I'm making bike analogies. So, this is your words of wisdom for this week, y'all. I know we had a lot of information this week. I know it was a little bit heavy, um, but I hope that these words of affirmations help. Feeling good about yourself in the midst of the storm, being able to recognize the things that need to fall away and why these things are kind of happening, and the lessons within these things, like the energy cards talked about, is really important this week. So, this was your words of wisdom for this week. And this was your reading, group three. So thank you so much for being here. Please, please, please let me know how your week is. Please let me know if any of y'all need a reading. Follow the channel if you aren't already. Share this message with somebody who may also need to hear this message. Okay. Follow the podcast if you're not already. Tiny Musings, part 1 and 2 of August is out right now. The September part 1 will be out in a couple of days. And follow me on Instagram at Tiny Divinations. And again, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. If you have another pile or number, I will see you there. If not, I will see you in our next reading.